Okay, here we are in Manila, Philippines. The date is Sunday, March 25th, 2024. It's Palm Sunday. What you see here is the island of Corregidor in the entrance to Manila Bay. This is where MacArthur and the troops had to retreat to after the Japanese attacked the Philippines on the day after Pearl Harbor. That would be December 8th, 1941. In the next two pictures, not a very good picture at all, but at the base of this tree was where MacArthur had his first headquarters. And at the top left-hand side of this hotel in Manila is where he moved his final headquarters to and where he remained with his family. We went to lunch at a restaurant called Barbara's, which was supposed to be a typical Spanish-style restaurant reflecting the occupation of the Spanish in the Philippines for so many years. Just to give you a little history, the Philippines were under Spanish rule, Spanish colonization for 333 years before the U.S. took over around 1898. And the U.S. ruled for 48 years before the Philippines became independent. So it was a surprise to me there was so much, Spanish culture here in the Philippines still to this day. So the Philippines are named after King Philip II of Spain, and they were colonized in the 16th century. Ferdinand Magellan landed here in 1521, and Manila was founded in 1571. And there was a revolution in 1896 by the Philippines to get out from under the Spanish rule. The Spanish-American War took place. The Battle of Manila was in 1898, and the U.S. came. And from that point on, for a period of 48 years, the U.S. oversaw the Philippines until they declared independence in 1946. They became the Republic of Philippines and then ruled themselves with a government structure that's very much like what we have in the United States. So Philippines is a mixture of Spanish and American culture. It's got Chinese influence. It's about 80% Catholic now, and about 15% Muslim, and 5% everything else. So it's quite a melting pot of various nationalities. There's Chinese influence as well. Anyway, the next stop after lunch was a church called St. Augustine, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it was the only public building left standing after the 1863 earthquake, and was used during the Japanese occupation as a prison for some of the prisoners of war. And it also was the only building, one of the few buildings that remained intact after the Japanese and American bombings and war efforts. This is the inside. It's beautiful. Governing Richardson is really a beautifully maintained place. They have a little kind of an entrance gate with maybe 4 or 5 residences like this that form their own little community. And they can close it off at night, still travel between the 6 or 8 houses within the little community, but be isolated from the outside. These are the bathtubs. Each place has a chapel where they would pray together. the family. And the next stop was Chinatown. And we went down this small alley here. I thought I was going to get rolled at first, but they wanted to take us to a small little food place there that made a Philippine specialty called lumpia, which our waiters at the ship asked us to try. They said, if you want to try some local food, try some lumpia. So she took us to this little restaurant here and asked us if anybody wanted to try one. And Laurie said yes. Laurie said, I want to try. She was the first one. Nobody else wanted any until she got one, and then everybody wanted to try it. So. It was kind of like a big spring roll, a gigantic spring roll. It was fried. It had vegetables and I think some chicken in it. Not exactly sure, but it was good. There it is. She got it. Brought some over. I tried it. It was actually delicious. Also in the middle of Chinatown, it was kind of a Catholic shrine, which just goes to show you what a mixture of religions and cultures they have here. And this cross that you're going to see in a minute in this little niche was supposedly found by somebody in a river, and it was floating supposedly straight up like a cross instead of laying down. So they thought it had some religious significance. They've kept it. And it was originally in a building here, but it was turned over by the owner to build a shrine so that everybody could have access to it. So supposedly you can come and burn incense and say a prayer or something, and then touch the cross, and it's supposed to heal you, whatever infirmity you have. But it's a well-known religious site in the city. Our next stop, crossing this canal, it was horrible. That's nothing but a big sewer right there. And those people selling food right there, the smell was so bad I wanted to gag. It was really awful. So they got some sanitation issues in this city for sure. So we crossed the street, and now we're going to head over to another area where there's another church that they wanted us to go to. They were afraid that because it was Palm Sunday, we'd never be able to get into the church to see it, and in fact, they were right. When you see how jam-packed this open-air market street is, there you can see the church in the background, and the kind of the grounds in front of the church are so packed. They said, we'll never get in there. We'll get lost, as our group is trying to stay together. So we turned and went down this open-air market street, which is right behind us, and you'll see what a crazy walk it was. Just absolutely jam-packed with people. Shoulder to shoulder. All those palms you see people carrying are for Palm Sunday. They were selling them as something you could buy and then take to the church, I suppose. There's some more of those palm ornaments. You could buy just about anything you want in this open air market here. We had a hard time staying together as a group. People were actually following my camera that was sticking up so they could see where we were. Our final stop for the day before heading back to the ship was going through Muslim town. So there's a Chinatown and a Guess this is everybody town here. And then we went to Muslim town. You can see the mosque in the background there. They had a little proper entrance to it. And again, it's Ramadan. It's Ramadan here in Muslim town. Although it didn't look like everybody was fasting. Maybe it's not as strict here, but normally during Ramadan you fast from sun up to sundown. I was filming at one stand and the guy said, "Don't film, put your camera away." I guess he didn't want me filming whatever he was selling there for some reason. This is the walk now back out the entrance to Muslim town. We enjoyed our day in Manila. It was very informative. Our guide had lots of information for us. Look at that dried fish there. Yeah, I don't know if I would be willing to try that or not. But we enjoyed our visit to Manila. It was certainly an informative day. Learned a lot of the old city, the new city, Chinatown, Muslim town. And tomorrow it's off to Civic Day.